thought this would be a pretty interesting video to react to. This is from Star Wars Theory, and it says, the fans are finally uniting after the Acolyte. Now, if you have been paying attention to anything surrounding the Acolyte, you would agree with that statement, because the Acolyte is objectively terrible in every single way possible. And the only way that you could actually say anything different is if you are a Disney shill, you are obsessed with trying to stay in the good graces of them, or if you're one of those weirdos that, I guess, finds representation for the first time ever in Star Wars. Like this weirdo right here over on Twitter. This person quote tweeted Theory, and he was saying how united the community is. This person says, maybe the toxic side is united. The rest of us are fighting for our life, just trying to enjoy Star Wars respectfully and peacefully. Fighting for our life. So I quote tweeted that and gave it the good old R. Kelly meme. You know, when Disney Star Wars fans have reached R. Kelly level meltdowns, you know things are in a really bad place. So let's check out this video from Star Wars Theory, and then we'll get back to it.
Dude, I haven't seen this many Star Wars fans united since probably either before The Last Jedi or after Mando Season 2.
We've been hearing for a few...
Josiah Rises. I mean, there was definitely unity after The Last Jedi, but there were a lot of people that did like The Last Jedi. Not really Star Wars fans, but there were a lot of people that did enjoy it. Rise of Skywalker kind of pissed everybody off. So I feel like the Rise of Skywalker was more unifying than The Last Jedi. And then Mando Season 1 and 2 definitely brought people together for a positive reason. But now, I don't think I've seen anything as unifying as the Acolytes, especially after Episode 3.
Weeks now that this is going to be the episode that absolutely destroys Star Wars once and for all, and I am here to tell you that it is worse than what we were even expecting.
Episode 3 is causing all kinds of backlash.
Good old drunk 3PO getting a mention.
3 of the Acolyte was, without a doubt, one of the most devastatingly embarrassing spectacles I think I've ever witnessed on TV.
Third has hit. I watch it and it's...
This guy, I don't remember his name. He really doesn't like me. He's always been like, he's just negative and toxic. So welcome to the toxicity, because now you're being negative apparently about Star Wars. I guess you don't like women and black people in your media, whoever this guy is.
Honestly, how can Disney, who actually bought the franchise, and Disney, who should know everything about Star Wars, even understand the fundamental idea of what Star Wars is built on?
I used to think that it would take one really great Star Wars project to bring all of us together. But now I realize it takes one really bad Star Wars project to unite so many of us. I remember during the live stream for Episode 3 of The Acolyte, there were so many of you at the end that were saying I was totally on board with Episode 1 and 2. In fact, I thought all you guys were toxic for not liking it, this and that. But this is too much. I can't take this. This is bullshit. And so many people are now changing tune and kind of waking up. And
I'm sorry, I don't know who the hell likes Episode 1 and 2. They're not as bad as 3, but Episode 1 and 2 of The Acolyte were horrible as well. There's nothing redeeming about any of this shit. It's all bad, and it's made by people that don't care about Star Wars and don't know Star Wars at all.
I think, you know, it's interesting. There's a line for all of us, and it just depends where that line is for you. For some people, it was like right after The Force Awakens. For some people, it was after Mando Season 3. For some people, it was after The Last Jedi. For a lot of people, it's Acolyte Episode 3. And you can...
I agree with that. I mean, everybody, because, I mean, again, there were people... I know a lot of people think I was ahead of the curve, but I really wasn't ahead of the curve because I was a fan of The Force Awakens, and I was all in after The Force Awakens. It was not until The Last Jedi is when I became such a harsh Disney Star Wars critic. And there were people that were before me, but the YouTube side, there wasn't a lot of traction for the negative Star Wars content, mainly because there was so much positivity coming off of The Force Awakens. So I definitely wasn't the first, but yes, I was one of the first with The Last Jedi for sure. But there were people before me that were calling Disney Star Wars out prior when I was still very excited after The Force Awakens. And then there were people that, you know, woke up after, you know, The Rise of Skywalker. And so he's right about that. Everybody has their line, and everybody has the thing that's led them to this place. The Acolyte Season 3 definitely does seem to be a unifying moment.
You can see it in the comments, whether it's on X, Twitter, or Instagram, or YouTube. Anything that they are posting right now with the Acolyte, it is getting freaking ratioed like crazy. There are so many people in there. Mind you, I just want to say, when you're exclaiming how you feel, just be respectful about it. And I'm very proud of so many people that are doing that. People are just pissed. They are pissed off. They're done with this shit. There's so many people that are like, this is absolute garbage. This is not right. This is not George Lucas's Star Wars. And it's true. It's not. You know,
Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
I was speaking with Roger Christian, I remember, for episode 4. He was saying how they had such a limited budget for the sets, for everything, and they made everything look like it was literally from a galaxy far, far away. They were just so lazy. They had no vision whatsoever. Remember when the Wookiee was in the middle of the field? There was nothing else. Lazy set design. Mind you, the Wookiee looks like Harry and the Hendersons. He looks like freaking Harry in the movie. Why would you not make it look like Chewbacca? Why does he have this giant troll head? You know, this like little. What are they doing, man? I don't think they have a clue. It all comes down to Leslie Headland, and it all comes down to Kathleen Kennedy giving her free reign. So, you know, two people that just really, I don't think
Theory.
should be working on Star Wars.
Theory. I love your theory. Everybody knows we're friends with Star Wars Theory. Theory, there is another person that is at the forefront of this. And we all know who that person is because I've mentioned that person, especially after episode 3, and I put the majority of the blame on that person, and that person would be Dave Filoni, which I got more to say about Dave Filoni.
At all. And my question is, Dave, where are you? Are you approving all this stuff? Do you have power to approve it or disapprove? What's going on here? I am very confused because none of this is, I mean, bro, you go look at the comments on some of these. It's war. People are pissed off. And
They are. And listen, I'm going to say this right now, okay? So me and Ryan on Daily, we kind of got into a back and forth over, you know, Dave Filoni, George Lucas, Clone Wars, all that shit. This past weekend, I decided, because look, I have just been as guilty of this as anybody else, okay? I have always said, like, Filoni did a great job with the Clone Wars, yada, yada, yada. And that's just the fact that I love the Clone Wars so much has led me to where I used to, years and years ago, was always like, man, Filoni is the guy. We need Filoni. He's the guy. Look what he did with the Clone Wars. It was incredible. So I went back and I was like, now that I've seen Dave Filoni's stuff, now that we've seen there's actually stuff of Dave Filoni working on stuff on his own, whether that be the Ahsoka series, which I did not watch, whether that be the stuff with The Mandalorian. I know that was a Jon Favreau series, but Filoni was involved in it. Rebels is another one, which Rebels was okay. It certainly is a massive drop-off from the Clone Wars. And then now we're here with him being the creative force behind all of this stuff, and we're getting the Acolyte. So it really made me look at this, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? How did Filoni give me something I love so much in the Clone Wars, and he has been horrific in everything else? So I started to look, and it's pretty clear that George Lucas was far more involved in the Clone Wars than a lot of people have understood. I actually looked up a lot of different stuff with this. There's interviews with Sam Witwer. There's interviews with, James Arnold Taylor. There's interviews with George himself. Then I looked into some of the stuff that Dave Filoni said. George Lucas had final say on everything for the Clone Wars. Dave Filoni was basically executing George's story for the most part. George Lucas was far more involved in the Clone Wars. And Dave Filoni has gotten way too much praise for the Clone Wars, and to be fair, way too much hate for it as well, because the people that hated Clone Wars basically directed all of their anger towards Filoni. The reality of it is he wasn't responsible enough to get the love that he's received or the hate based on the stuff that I've found out. So that basically gave a lot of people, me included, kind of a false sense of who Dave Filoni is. Now we're getting to see who Dave Filoni really is, and he is just not that guy, and he never was that guy, is what it's starting to look like for me. But we'll have another discussion at another time. But again, I say that as someone that was always on the pro Filoni bandwagon, but it was based off my idea that he had far more to do with Clone Wars than he really did. The Clone Wars was George Lucas's Star Wars. That's why I love the Clone Wars, because I love George Lucas Star Wars. And, you know, whether it's the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, or the Clone Wars, that's George Lucas Star Wars.
Keep away. I don't even comment, man. You guys are doing enough work there, and this was their last post. They were like, okay, you know what? We're gonna post something that has to do with the prequel trilogy because we're just getting absolutely destroyed. But here's the thing: the numbers game that many people don't understand. I'm sure in the coming months, once they start releasing numbers for the Acolyte, what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, it did so well, and they're smart. They're capitalizing on the fact that it's so controversial by spamming the shit out of our feeds with Acolyte stuff, because they know people are angry, so they're going to comment that it's shit, but that drives engagement up. And when you drive engagement up, your posts get seen more and more and more, because these companies like social media, like, you know, Meta, YouTube, whatever, the way it works is if you have more comments, more likes, more engagement, even if it's more dislikes, it still drives the video into your main screen, your main page, your home page. Same with Instagram and Facebook and all this other stuff. That's how it works. So the like and dislike button is kind of like a joke. It's like, okay, yeah, we want you to vote, but whatever you do, it's going to drive engagement up regardless. People are probably going to see the Acolyte more than any other thing because they just want to see how bad it actually is. They may...
Yeah, but the numbers are not good for the Acolyte based on what we've had so far. Right now, after 3 episodes, it's the lowest rated in terms of just viewership numbers of any Disney Star Wars thing on Disney Plus. It's the lowest. It's lower than Ahsoka. So the controversy is not helping them as much as it would seem. It's actually really bad for them. I mean, ultimately, all people, like right now, Inside Out 2 is dominating at the box office. I saw in an Inside Out 2, and it's good. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's a solid movie. I did enjoy it a lot. And it's good. It has no bullshit in it, and it's family friendly. Family can go watch it. Check it out. And that's going to probably make $1 billion at the box office, because that's all people are looking for. They're not looking for this agenda-driven bullshit.
Even say, hey, look, we had, like, you know, how record-breaking views for the show, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's a train wreck. Everyone wants to see a train wreck, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good project. So, man, I don't know what to even say, but I'm pretty dumbfounded at how this horrible project has brought so many of us together. And it's nice to see finally in the Star Wars fandom. And thank you to everyone who's been sharing my photos on TikTok and stuff, and those have been going viral, which is crazy. It's nice to get the love. It's nice to get the appreciation that, you know, we are standing for something, which is George Lucas Star Wars, and will not be silenced, and we'll always speak our minds and be passionate about this galaxy far, far away that we love. And that's, at the end of the day, all we're really talking about and all we really stand for, all we care about. So, you know, keep making noise, keep doing your thing. We're being heard for sure, obviously, but be respectful. Always be polite, always be respectful, be a gentleman about everything, and get your point across eloquently and kindly and respectfully, because that's the best way to do it and to be heard. So, love you all. Pretty cool. And see you in the next video. I got a funny one for you.
So there we go. Star Wars Theory. Now, if you go over, the Acolyte is at 15% audience score, which is truly the most unified we have ever seen the Disney Star Wars fandom, or Star Wars fandom, however you want to look at it. Since Disney has purchased it, I guess is the best way to say that. It's bad. It's really bad, and it's not going to get any better. Now, episode 4 is going to drop here in a couple of days. Chris Gore and a few others have already seen that one. I hear that pronouns are going to be introduced into Star Wars. Then after that, we have heard nothing about episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm looking forward to seeing how bad it can get with those episodes, because I think it, shockingly enough, I think it could get worse. I think it could actually get worse. And that is going to be amazing to witness. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.